Hey, boys and girls, I'm Chris Adam. He's Mike Michaels. This is the Chris and Mike Show. What?
This would be
Deal or no deal? What's
episode
in case number 1?
36.
30. Is it 36? Yeah, 36. Yeah, because
Yes,
last
sir.
week was 35. Before that was
Yes.
34. It was 33, 32, 31, 30.
I'm going to take your word for it.
Speaking of speaking Spanish, so speaking of speaking Spanish, say that fast a few times. I was recently nominated as the top 50 realtors in the NAREP, which is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals in America.
Congratulations.
Boys and girls, I'm here to tell you I am not Mexican. I am not Hispanic. I am not Mexican. So I'm not sure how that came to play because I'm just some little old white dude that has Irish and German in my background. And I married an Italian chick who's super tan, so you could kind of think maybe, looking at her. But yeah, no, I am not of Hispanic origin, at all.
No, but you are a very likable guy.
I appreciate that. I try to be likable. I just thought that was comical because I years and years ago, I was part of NAREP as an advocate, but not as a member because I can't be a member of NAREP because I'm not of that national descent, if that's what you call it. I don't know. Yeah, just kind of one of those things. And the funny thing is, realtors in a whole, like, we get these stupid things. Like a couple years ago, I had like a shit year. Like literally, like my first year in real estate, I sold 12 houses or 13 houses. That's 2 years ago. I think I sold 12. Like closed. I had probably had 25 or so open, but shit happens. I get an email from a title company saying, "Oh, congratulations, you're in the top 1%." I'm like, fuck you, I am not. I'm nowhere near the top 1%. Like, stop trying to pimp your bullshit on me. Like, there's no way. Now, on average, realtors across the country sell 4 houses a year. So when you close 25 plus, then okay. But don't try to tell me in the state of Arizona where there's so many realtors that squashed me that year that I was in the top 1%. It's just a joke. So when you see those things that realtors post, oh, look at me, top 1% or top 10% of my company, it's all bullshit. It's like, just shut up. You're not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you do business any better than somebody else. You just need that. For those of you who can't see me, I'm patting myself on the back. You need that self-acclaim to justify your ego.
I agree with you.
Just shut the fuck up. Now, when I first started my career, I thought that was a big deal. Like, I thought, multi-million-dollar producer was a big deal. All that meant was you sold more than $2.1 million of property because that's multi-million. Now it's just whatever. You could do that in a month. But back then it was a big deal because the average sales price was like $130,000. So you're selling, 20 plus houses to get to that level. But it's all, there's this guy that has this magazine. Cool, dude. It's all real estate related. And people think they're all, look at me, I'm on the magazine cover. Well, you got to pay for it. You got to pay like $1,000 to be on the cover of his magazine. And then they'll post on Facebook, oh, look at me. I'm, top producing in the West Valley. Like, okay, yeah, for $1,000. I don't have the thumb thing like you do, but yeah, it's funny, man. It's some funny shit that I just don't understand. I get it, but I don't know. So we went to lunch. Nick and I went to lunch, right? We were talking last week about the Cubs game, and the cost of shit and all that kind of jazz. So Nick and I went to lunch today, and as we approached the restaurant, a restaurant called Blue 32, it's a sports grill, pretty cool place. On their door, they had a sign that said there's a 3% charge now on every card transaction. 3%.
That's getting more and more common.
So when we sat down, right, which I didn't, we don't eat out a ton, and I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago we hit this Italian restaurant that we liked, and when we got the bill, there's like a 1.5% surcharge, and we're like, what the fuck is that? You look at the very fine line bottom print of the third page of the menu, like, I'm kid you not, it was small enough that you needed Braille to read it. So I appreciated the fact that Blue 32 put that shit on the front door. And then we sat in the bar on the high top. So I asked the bartender, we came over, like, dude, what's that about? He's like, everything's going up. All the costs are going up. And we pushed it. We shied away from it for as long as we could, but everybody's doing it and everybody's charging and everybody this, everybody that. It's like, so we had no choice. I'm like, that's a trip. But at least they were honest about it. And
right.
As you're walking in the restaurant, it's there.
But was that for using a credit card, or was that just a fee a fee for a fee? Yep. Or was it for a credit? Okay.
Credit card fee. Credit card.
I just wanted to be clear, because that's what I meant when I said that's getting more and more common, and it's harder and harder to get away from, because the establishments, that is the single biggest expense that they have every month, usually way more than even their rent, is the credit card processing fees.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He alluded to that. He was like, the amount of money we spend processing credit cards is insane, and it's not necessarily a credit card, but a debit card.
So
whoever their vendor is that does that, they're charging them more and more money too, which is crazy.
Right. And initially, people think, like you and I did, probably. I know I did in the beginning, till I kind of did some research on it. You're like, well, fuck Walmart and Target. They can pay those fees. Fuck them. It's not them that gets they don't get hurt at all. They don't give a fuck about any of that. If they didn't have to pay it, they wouldn't. It's a small business.
Nope.
If you're trying to run a small to medium sized business, that will end your business if you have, 3 or 4 bad months where you don't have the kind of income that you're used to, and you have to pay all these processing fees.
Right.
It just eats you alive. So I get it. It pisses me off, but
it's crazy, man.
The more I looked into it, I'm with you. I kind of understand it, and I'm very thankful when somebody's upfront about it,
Yeah, and that's why I asked the guy, because and he just laid it out. It's insane, man. The cost of things. Yeah, and then I saw this thing the other day that the NFL owners are wanting to place a cap on what they pay quarterbacks. Did you hear that shit?
No.
Cap them. Kind of like a salary cap for quarterbacks. Yeah, a salary cap for quarterbacks, because the insane amount of money that some of the top 5 are getting, who have never done a thing. The top five paid quarterbacks in the NFL have never accomplished anything.
That's a true story. Can't argue that at all.
Let's just pull those up,
because it's a fact.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson. These are all they all make like 50 plus million a year. Lamar Jackson, I take that back. Patrick Mahomes has done something. So 1. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Kyler fucking Murray, Jalen Hurts, and they're no longer playing, or now he's playing for the Steelers. Russell Wilson. They're the highest paid quarterbacks.
Excuse me. That's a resident of the state of Arizona, ladies and gentlemen. That's why the emphasis on Kyler fucking Murray.
Right.
He has to watch those poor Cardinals.
Murray, because he's a joke.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. So here's the actual top. Yeah, here's the actual top 5, and so Patrick Mahomes isn't in there. Deshaun Watson, $230 million. Joe Burrow, $219 million. Justin Herbert, $218.7 million. Trevor Lawrence, $200 million. And Lamar Jackson, I thought Lamar Jackson makes more now, $185 million. Those are the top 5 paid quarterbacks in the NFL, and none of them have won the Super Bowl. Not one.
Yeah, well.
So, but they don't. If I could get it, put up or shut up. They haven't.
Agreed.
No, we talked about that before too, and I agree with that. But still, but that's why I think the owners are having this discussion, because they're just like, what the fuck. Now Brock Purdy, because it just came up. Brock Purdy's a homegrown kid, from Arizona, plays for the Niners.
Yeah, he's amazing.
he signed a 4-year, $3.7 million contract with the 49ers after being selected to the last overall in 2022. So he only makes $934,000 a year. So they're going to end up paying him. But he's essentially taken them to back-to-back championship games. 2 years ago he got hurt, so they didn't get past it and get to the Super Bowl. But making $934,000 a year. And San Francisco's fucking stupid expensive, so I'm sure that doesn't carry much weight in San Francisco. Right. You know, Patrick Mahomes. Oh, he inked a 10-year deal in 2020 for $450 million. He's a 3-time Super Bowl, obviously. They reworked his deal last September. So he's making $208 million between 2023 and 2026. The cool thing about him, whether you love him or hate him, is when he got that paycheck, he bought into the Kansas City Royals. He is part owner of the Kansas City Royals.
I remember seeing that. No, I think he's amazing. I like watching him play. Cool. I'm not one of these people that.
Yeah.
I think people that get that into sports are just absolutely adorable. You know, if you hate someone, it's like you don't even fucking know them, man. They don't know you, and neither one of you care about each other. It's like, relax, man. Just watch the game. And I totally enjoy watching him play football. And if you like football, who wouldn't? You know, he just makes the game fun. So sounds like Kermit the Frog, but
I think
really makes football fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. I think the big thing about him, and even Brady for that matter, people get tired of seeing them in the playoffs year after year after year after year.
It's because they want to win, people
start hating.
If your team wanted to win at the level that team wants to win, you'd be there too.
Yep. If you had the talent, because that's the big thing. You know, if you gotta have the talent.
And you got to have the coach. The whole package has got to be there, just like a band. You know, you can't have one weak link.
Yep.
So
no,
they don't have a lot of weak links.
Especially football. Football is such a team sport.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah,
on both sides,
especially football. Oh yeah. So I just for the hell of it, I went to baseball now. So let's see what baseball.
Top 5 paid players.
I just want to see. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, let's see if this is it. This is entering the 2024. Okay, there it is. It takes a while to get down to this. So, Shohei Ohtani from the Dodgers, $70 million.
Shohei.
A year. A year. Wow.
Yeah, he's amazing. He produces.
So I did this thing when I was when I was a sports editor. There's a big uproar about Roger Clemens inking a deal that he did. So I broke it down in an editorial. I broke down every ball he threw, what he got paid. I don't remember what it is. So we're gonna do this with Shoshani guy. Baseball has baseball has 82 games. How many games? 182 games. 182, right? Baseball.
162. 81 home games, 81 away games. 162.
162. Okay, there it is. Yeah. So he makes $432,000 per game. Per game.
That's not too shabby.
That's crazy. No. So let's do this. 81 times, 162 times 9. So there's 1,458 innings if you played every single inning. So let's see what he gets paid per inning. $70 million. So he makes $48,000 per inning, whether he plays or not. Fun fact too. Fun fact if you didn't know, professional athletes never get a single paycheck until they complete their first game of the season.
Well, I'd show up for opening day.
So, right. So, but you only get paid for that game. Like he gets paychecks every game, which is why it's important for cities to have baseball, football, hockey, and basketball, because every time the players come through to play a game, they get paid after the game. Well, they're getting taxed then locally on so when they come to Phoenix, they're getting taxed on Arizona taxes. Arizona's pulling taxes out of that paycheck.
Okay.
So when they have to do their taxes, the only reason I know this is I had a friend a long time ago he played for the Steelers. He was never anything that was worthy of mentioning, but so we would bullshit and talk. He helped me coach Jake when he was younger in football. And we had talked about that one time. And he's like, yeah, man, you don't make shit. Like these guys, nobody makes money. Professional athletes don't get paid until the first game is completed, and then they get paid per game. So, yeah, you get hurt, for the rookies that get hurt or whatever, and whatever could get cut, then all this, you're fucked. But yeah, you don't get, but that's why you need those you need the hockey, the baseball, the football, and the basketball in every city, in every big metropolitan city, because the money you get. I mean, imagine Shohani, whatever you said his name is, $500,000 a game. So every time he plays in Arizona, because he's a Dodger, we're taxing his $500,000.
But he also has a guaranteed contract, so it doesn't matter whether he plays or not. If he's hurt for the rest of his career from here on out,
exactly,
he's not going to get his bonus money.
Sure.
Now, where baseball was smart, and you got to really get into the contracts in baseball, where they were smarter than the others is they have like big time incentive bonuses, so like, let's say you're not Shohei Ohtani, where you got guaranteed money. Say you're just an all-star, you're really good. They'll give them like huge incentives like to Trout. Well, he's another one. I think his is guaranteed money. That was like $400 and some million.
Oh, he's making $35 million a year.
Like a guy making $7.5 million a year, he might have incentive bonuses in there to get so many RBIs or so many hits, or win a Gold Glove. Or
right on.
You get so much more money if you do those certain things. Or you only get, let's say $3 million. I
didn't know. Yeah. But you get all the incentives and shit. That's cool.
That gets you up to the $7.5 million.
Oh, I got you.
So you get a baseline of like $3 million.
Arizona Diamondback on. Gotcha. And then you get the incentives on top of it.
There you go.
Okay. So fuck me, dude. Check this out. Okay. So the Dodgers won. Where'd it go? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Yeah, 6. There's 6 players in the top 32 paid players in on the Dodgers roster. 6. Not a single Diamondback, not a single Cub. Oh, I'm sorry, Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger, right there, $26.6 million a year.
Yeah, he signed a big contract
for the Cubs. Oh, and then you have Dirt, and then Dansby Swanson. He gets $25.2 million a year. So you got two guys in the Cubs that make this list. Not a single Diamondback. Lots of Dodgers, lots of Yankees, lots of Cardinals,
and the Cardinals,
lots of Angels.
They really haven't done well. A lot of their players are hurt, though. I should retract that.
Yeah, they should have if you get a hurt clause, you have to give half your money back.
Well,
I like the incentive thing. Like
I'm sure they have some
like
kind of things like that baked in there too.
Yeah. So we just did quarterbacks. So what about top 5 paid football players? Oh, it's still the fucking quarterbacks.
Of course.
Joe Burrow, Kyler fucking Murray.
You just wanted to say Kyler fucking Murray again.
AJ Brown. Kyler fucking Murray, dude. People are so hyped up on him. There's all this shit. Oh, he's the dark horse for the MVP. Like, have you not watched him play? Like, he's got skill. I'm not knocking him. He's got skill. He won the Heisman Trophy, for Christ's sake. But
NFL.
The times we've seen him in Arizona play, he doesn't perform in the moment. Like, he was playing the Steelers. We went and saw the Steelers game because Nick is a Steelers fan. And he had about 2.5 minutes left. He could have driven the Cardinals down the field to win the game, but he just doesn't. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have that killer instinct.
That's it.
Eli had it. Tom Brady has it, right? Patrick Mahomes has it. There's certain
can't
players
teach
that it doesn't matter. Right, Roethlisberger had it exactly. You can't teach it. It's ingrained in you. And when the light goes on, the spotlight's on you. It's like it's fucking go time. You ever see that movie? You probably did with Kevin Costner for Love of the Game.
Oh yeah,
Baseball movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. When he's on the mound, I thought it was a really cool thing how he hits that he said that line cleared the mechanism, and the entire stadium all around him just went went silent, and it was just intensely hyper focused on what he was doing. I think, and I don't know, but I think that if you could define that instinct, that killer instinct in a professional athlete, I think that epitomized that concept.
That's how
you're on that stage, right? The highest possible stage.
Yeah, I think that's how any artist, athlete, you got to be in. That's the zone that we talk about. You're in the zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing else is around you.
Yeah.
You're kind of like cocooned while you're performing, competing, whatever you're doing, that requires that kind of focus. That's just an intense focus.
Yeah.
You can't be singing a song and then start thinking about doing your taxes, right?
You could.
You think?
Squirrel.
I can't play my guitar and start thinking about doing my taxes.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I never really checked out. I was too involved in the people watching and listening, and knowing where you were on stage, so I wouldn't run into you. Rick always just stayed in one spot, but you and I were pretty mobile.
But I mean, you're engaged in the show. You're not.
I get what you're saying.
I'm not saying checked out. I'm just saying you're actually
No.
You're the MC. You're actually running the show. So there's no more being intimately involved than the leader of the hive mind.
True. Yeah, singer. Yeah. Oh yeah. No pressure on singers. So basketball, Steph Curry is the highest paid basketball player, $52 million a year. Followed by the epitome of Arizona's stupidity, Kevin Durant makes $47.6 million a year. Not worth it. Overpaid.
No, never has been.
Embiid from the Sixers makes no. Joel Embiid. I don't know how you say that. EMBIID. He makes $47.6 million. LeBron, the queen of. Oh, there you go. Yeah, king of flop. $47.6 million. Why the fuck they paid him $99 million over 2 years is beyond me.
Nobody will ever figure that out.
The Joker. That's crazy. The Joker makes the same amount of money as LeBron does on an annual basis. And Bradley Beal, like who the fuck is Bradley Beal to make $46 million? So between Bradley Beal and Durant, that's like $80 million a year just in two players. Where the fuck is Booker, man? Booker's the one that they should have built around. Booker's worth more than those fuckers. Just stupid amounts of money. And that's the thing, we talked about it, dude. People buy the shit, and that's why everything's going up. That's why everything goes up in sports, because of these salaries.
Yeah. So
if everybody's making like $5 million a year, everything would be much more affordable.
Yeah. So as you're going to these events, remember that you're supporting all the questions that you have about where you're at, because everybody's saying, why is it so expensive? $13.50, $20 for a beer, $30 for this, $170 for a jersey. Because people are standing in line to buy the shit. If you weren't there to buy it, they wouldn't be able to sell it. But somebody is supporting that market. Right. And I agree with you. It's out of control, man. And it just keeps getting more expensive. I just kept thinking all day that day, if I had 4 other people that I had to be the one to support, now that's a very expensive day, right?
Oh, right. Nick and I did these dance lessons for a while, right? On Tuesday night. So when we leave, it would be 7:00. So we stopped at Texas Roadhouse a couple of weeks in a row to have dinner, because just 2 of us, we can eat without the alcohol, we can eat for like $60.
Sure.
There's a family one night, I think both nights, because you watch, people watch. Family of like 8 walked out. 8 people with kids. So the kids got all those Happy Meal type things and shit, and I just can't fathom that. Like that's a $250 dinner easily.
Absolutely.
With 8 people. It just has to be. If you figure like our lunch, she got a little salad today, like a goat cheese pecan salad minus a goat cheese. $16 with a moldy strawberry on it. So she got the bartender. I was like, hey, just FYI, this is moldy, and gave it back to him. And so he went and yelled at the cook, like, what the fuck are you doing? Manager comes over before he leaves, gives us a $20 gift certificate. So basically he covered the cost of her salad, which was cool. And then my thing, I got 2 little street tacos and cilantro lime rice. That was like $40, with just iced tea.
Crazy.
But if you throw in an appetizer, you throw in an appetizer, you throw in a couple beers, which people do, then all of a sudden you're $70.
Oh yeah.
And you got to do tip on top of that.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So that's why we're talking about money. The average, this is according to Polestar. It's a ticket tracker.
Hold on 1 second.
A constant ticket tracker. The average. Okay.
Remind me about the tipping thing after you. So we were at Rizzo's.
We'll talk about tipping now, man.
Okay. Anthony Rizzo plays for the New York Yankees. Used to be a Cub, won the World Series.
I know. Yeah, I know the name, but yeah. Okay.
Okay. So we were at his restaurant, and because we had so many people, we had 10 of us, right?
Right.
You cannot split your bill up. You have no choice in the matter. Everything goes on one ticket because you got so many people, and the gratuity is automatically like, I don't want to over.
Right.
It's automatically 20%. I swear that the person that told me said 30%. But I'll have to verify that. I don't want to, but the gratuity was automatic no matter what. So if the service sucked, you're just fucked. You're paying 20%.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter.
I just don't think that's right.
Right, and that's lame.
That part I fucking disagree with.
I agree 100%.
So you're talking about
that's the thing I don't know if we talked about before. Yeah, I'm just talking about in general that if you have to earn your tip, like the service industry, restaurants, right? And like the bartender was good to us. He came back, he checked on us a couple times, and we're very low maintenance customers, So he earned his tip, but I'm not tipping you because you fill a glass with iced tea at a drive-through. I'm sorry, I'm not giving you a tip. It's not happening. Where the fuck was it? You have
this guy was barely passable, in my opinion.
Everybody. Oh, as a server getting a tip. Yeah, I don't.
He was barely.
I think part of that.
I would have given him 10%.
Yeah, but they're guaranteed. Yeah, and see that's the thing. They're guaranteed in their head. They're guaranteed to make money regardless. So who gives a shit if they're good service or bad? Because they're going to get tipped regardless.
So now they give you average service, way fucked up, which is what we got. We had to ask for things.
Which is bullshit.
He never asked me if I wanted another drink, and I mean, granted, I kind of meld into the fucking background, you know me, but still, at most places, somebody would at least ask me, "Are you doing okay?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sitting here,
right?
I'm not invisible.
We
had to ask for water,
I used to
just
have
to give you an example of what I think is bad.
I used to have I used to have a thing where depending on if my iced tea was empty, your tip went down. Like, let's start the day at 20%, right? This was years ago, back in my drinking days when I was an ass. So
I actually kind of like that.
So my iced tea, if I gotta ask you to fill my iced tea up, your tip's going down. It's dwindling down. Now being married to Nikki, because Nikki was in the service industry, she's a bartender and a server forever before she got into what she's teaching. So,
but knowing her, she was a good one
tip because she's a good tipper because of that, which sure is a great one.
So she deserved to be tipped well, and I would have tipped somebody like that well, and I always do. That's important to me. But when you suck 5%, I'll let you know that you really pissed me off. I'll still leave 5%, but that's where I say,
Oh, absolutely,
you really
man.
you really pissed me off.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I just figured out why that made me mad.
Cost of things.
Because he knew he was guaranteed.
I looked into according to the concert. Right, and if you guaranteed something, it's kind of like with salary. If you're guaranteed to make money, then where's your? It's like the movie Office Space. Remember the Office Space?
Yeah. Oh yeah, one of my favorite.
Yeah, and where's his motivation, man? If he screws up, he's got 5 different jobs. 5 different bosses coming out and giving him shit. So, where's the motivation to his whole? What do you say? His only motivation is to not screw things up. So he works just
to do just good enough a job to not get in trouble.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Right. That's fucking stupid, man. So, what do you think the average concert ticket is for the first quarter of 2024? This is according to a concert ticket tracker called Polestar. For the top 100 tours, okay, let me elaborate. For the top 100 tours in the first quarter of this year, and it's a record. They set the record.
This is the average, right?
The average across the board.
Oh man. I'm gonna have to go with.
It's not as high as you think it would. It's not as high as you think it's going to be.
I know. That's why I'm trying not to overshoot it. You know me. Yeah. Trying to be a realist here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with $113.
Pretty damn close, dude. $123.25. Yeah. Good job. Good job. Good job.
Bad.
Now, the most expensive concert ticket, the median price. Okay. Check this shit out.
Hold on.
I'm just gonna tell you.
Let me guess. No, let me guess.
Okay.
The average.
Okay. I'll let you guess.
The median price for the most expensive.
You want me to tell you which artist?
Yeah. Give me a clue.
For the number one most expensive concert ticket. It's so the top 3, in no particular order, are U2, Taylor Swift, and Adele. The top 3 most expensive tickets in 2024 to date. So this is to date. So we're in July when this show airs. We're in July. So this is to date. Just
July
for
2024.
U2, Adele, and Taylor Swift.
Adele, U2, and Taylor Swift. I'm gonna go with.
Yep.
11,500.
It's gonna fucking knock you off your seat, dude. Oh fuck, that's way too high.
Oh, I'm really giving him credit.
Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift's median ticket price for her concert so far this year $3,525.42.
Oh, my first guess was $7,000, so I was still way off.
$525. Okay,
that's for the
Adele,
expensive
number
tickets.
2. Her median ticket price this is just the median ticket price. So you take everything from front row to the nosebleeds.
Jesus.
This is the average price to see Taylor Swift this year is $3,500. To see Adele,
I thought we were talking the most expensive.
To see U2,
I got confused. I got confused.
I don't know. The most expensive concert, it's the most expensive concert tickets in 2024, but it's the median ticket price. So that's all it's saying. It's the median ticket price for their shows. Yeah, all right. You probably missed the median part.
Yes. Which is crucial.
So then you have Olivia Rodrigo. I don't know who Olivia Rodrigo is, but she's $734. The Eagles $730. Bad Bunny $661. Morgan Wallen, where'd it go? Oh, I hate when you click the link and then it fucking takes you to a whole nother thing. It takes you off what you're reading. Stupid thing. But anyway, they're not showing Morgan Wallen and Billy Joel's. But
I bet they were like in the 600s. Or high 500s.
Yeah, probably.
Those are big draws.
Yeah. Oh, why we're talking about money. Oh, fuck. Super Bowl tickets for 2024, right? It has quite a range, but as things stand, the average cost per ticket sold in 2000 for February for the Super Bowl just passed February 11, 2024.
Okay.
The average ticket price cost per ticket was $8,400. $8,400. Just fucking insane. Hey, that's why I watch it on TV, man.
Even if I could afford it, I'm not sure I would do it. Once. I would do it once if I could afford it.
No.
Once.
I don't even think once, man, because think about it. You don't you don't have the reviews. You don't have the yeah,
listen,
okay.
let me help you. Let me help you. You're a very smart man.
Okay.
I know you are. You're successful. You run your own business for fucking years. You went from your starter job to running your own business. You were like, fuck this shit. I'm going to work for myself. You've done that your whole life. You're not stupid. If you had $100 million in the bank and it was just rolling interest every month, you'd be at the fucking Super Bowl one time.
That I would do.
See. Do you see how I talked you right into it?
Yeah.
People don't realize what compounding interest is, but you understand. So do I.
Yeah.
Not that we're rich. We just understand what compounding interest is. So if we had $100 million, we realize how fast that would grow without even doing anything. Just sit in your easy chair.
Yeah.
You go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
I like to dream, man. I just dreamed for you.
I had $100 million. Yeah. That was awesome. That was awesome. While we're on this cost thing, let's see this. Most cost effective.
He just keeps pulling me back into reality.
Because you had a friend. I know, right? Let's go to the 10 most affordable states to live in.
It's not Illinois.
Right? Mississippi, Oklahoma, Kansas, Alabama. No, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Kansas, Alabama, Georgia, Missouri, Iowa, and Tennessee.
Do you think any of those states have anything in common? They're all right to work states. For
farmers,
one.
rednecks.
No, I'm not going to disparage.
I'm not going to
disparage people. They're all right to work states. There's no unions.
Wow.
And let me tell you, people, I've been to Mississippi. I went to Tunica gambling with my dad, and those are some poor fucking people. Let me tell you a story. So, I step into Harris Casino, and I like to play table games.
Right.
So I walk up to the table, and it's dead. It's like a Wednesday afternoon or something. I don't know. I was working a weird schedule, so we went in the middle of the week. There's not a lot of people there, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I walk up to the table, and I lay $100 bill down, and they give me $100 worth of chips. Each one's worth $1 for people who haven't played roulette. And I spread them all over the table, I bet the whole 100. I had kind of a strategy that I played, and it worked most of the time. The guy who was running the wheel, they call him a croupier, he was just looking at the table, and the wheel's not even spinning. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, we're kind of at a standoff, And he's like, are you going to bet the whole thing? And I said, yeah. And he scratches the top of his head, and he's like, really? You going to bet the whole thing? And I'm like, it's $100, man. Spin the ball. Spin the ball. He was just fascinated that I would bet. I knew right then and there. My dad had kind of warned me, this is a poor area, so be prepared for that. So I'm glad he said something because I picked up on it right away when that guy was like, $100 meant the world to him, At that moment in time, $100 was...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was doing all right at that time, so didn't mean much to me, so...
Right.
Yes, Mississippi, Arkansas, cool. Those are poor.
So did you win? And did you and did you win or no?
Well, so that's an interesting
Did
story.
You win when you spun the $100?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was up probably.
Okay, good.
I don't know, $400 or $500 for the whole trip, which, you know, we stayed there 2 nights, 3 days. That's a long time to gamble, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never
Yeah.
been gambling. If you don't
Right.
have a lot of money, 3 days is an eternity. So I left my jacket at the last place we stayed at. He wanted to show me a bunch of different places because Tunica is kind of like little Las Vegas. It's like Laughlin. Have you ever been to Laughlin? You live in Arizona.
Oh, right on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
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 So
we did,
Tunica
yeah,
is like
we can actually rent a
Laughlin
race in
without the
Laughlin.
river.
Okay.
All right. So there's a bunch of casinos within either a walking distance or a driving distance. I don't know, 5, 7, 8 of them. I can't remember. We
Okay.
didn't go to all of them, but we went to quite a few.
Right on. And this is you and your dad.
Yeah. This was in probably,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, 2012, maybe 11.
Okay.
So the last place we stayed at, I left my jacket at. It was, you know, fall, so it was cool. Had to have a jacket or a sweatshirt or whatever.
Yeah.
And he says, well, we'll go back and get it. You know, it was in the closet. So somebody either turned it into the front desk or it was still in the closet. We'd only been gone for like 12 hours, you know?
Oh, right on.
So we decided to gamble while we're there. And everyone that knows me on the level that Chris knows me knows that I have not a racist bone in my body. I treat people how they treat me, and there's just no in between. I don't see color. I see assholes or 100%. Not assholes. It's just who I am.
Right.
But
exactly.
This lady was the biggest, blackest,
really
meanest fucking bitch I ever encountered in my life. She just hated her job, her life, the world, me, that ball. And I should have known after like the second spin that this just wasn't going to work out, you know. If she could have burned a hole through me or threw me in a fucking sewer pit and got rid of me, she would have. She just didn't want to be there. And that kind of energy is infectious, whether people know it or not, you know, and you and I pick up on stuff like that. So I lost $400 in 4 spins and there went my profit, you know? So it kind of got.
And see, there's one big thing too, that I'm not a big gambler, but whenever we do gamble, as soon as you're playing a table and the dealer changes, walk away.
Absolutely.
If you're getting all good juju with that dealer, yeah, and he or she has to leave, man, fucking walk away because the juju goes with them.
So let me tell you where
same with like you play slots. If you hit a slot machine, same thing, walk away.
Let me tell you where this $400 or $500 of profit came from. So the night before was exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And I wish social media was a thing back then. You know, it wasn't as prevalent as it is today or even 8 years ago. But back then it was just getting started and people didn't go, hey, you got a Facebook page or whatever. Anyway, the night before we were staying at a place called Sam's Town, which is a great casino. Had a lot of fun there, really good food. So my dad likes to play the slots. And at that time, I pretty much exclusively played table games. I didn't really play a lot of slots. I really thought I knew what I was doing and I was going to get rich gambling, you know, one of those kind of, I'm on a roll.
Right.
Anyway, we were having a great time. So I go to the roulette wheel and he disappears and does his thing. And I run into this dude from Gulf Shores, Alabama, that was one of the most, if I ever make fun of fucking rednecks, he's not the redneck I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are fucking up to no good, you know? This dude was one of the most fun individuals I ever spent 10 hours with because that's how long we were at that roulette table. I did have a pretty good system, and this dude didn't know me from Adam, and he saw me start winning. This was a different experience where the vibe was good, the energy was good, everybody was having a good time. And he's sitting at one end of the table and I'm sitting at the other, and all of a sudden he says, hey, I'm wearing an Illinois basketball shirt. He looks at the croupier. He says, whatever Fighting Illini is doing,
Right.
do the same for me. He just pushed a stack of chips over to her. He says, put one on wherever he puts all his stuff. So we start winning because I'm just on a roll. I've hit like 9 numbers out of maybe 15. You know, that's a pretty good profit margin.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
So this is just like Las Vegas. You're drinking for free, you know, as long as you're gambling. And every time the waitress would come by, he would be like, hey, I want to buy me and Fighting Illini a drink. And everybody at the table, I would like to buy them drinks too. And he'd throw her, you know, $20, $25 because we were rolling, you know, we were probably making $30, and $40 every
And this
spend.
is the night before?
Yeah. This went on until 5 o'clock in the morning, dude.
Okay.
We started at like 9 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Oh yeah. This is the at the rate we this is the rate we were winning.
This is a legitimate like story.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
So at like 2:30 in the morning and like 7 dealers, I'll call them dealers, they're croupiers, but that gets harder and harder to say. Anyway, there's like 7 dealers at this point. And a lot of the same people were still there. You can fit about 9 people around a roulette table, 8 maybe. I don't know. Probably 5 of us were the original crew. And we're incredibly fucked up at this point.
Okay.
But nobody was getting out of line. And at like 2:30 in the morning, this dude's sitting next to me now because he wants to be involved in the whole situation. And he says, my whole objective was to see how drunk I could get before I run out of money. And I'm concerned that at the rate that we're winning, we're going to be dead before that happens. Meaning we're going to be able to keep drinking forever. You know, it was just one of those times that, you know, you can think back on it. And I remember every detail that happened that night. That dude was just so much fun. You know, some people, I'm not the life of the party. That's awesome. You know, anybody that's, again, a friend with me at the level that you are, you know, everybody wants me there for some reason or another, but I am totally not the life of the party, you know? So I appreciate people that are.
Right.
I have a lot of friends that are just because I'm not. You're one of them, you know?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be the MC.
Right.
So that's my Tunica story. But that squirrel moment came from, yes, Mississippi is super poor.
Yeah. Well, I kind of figured that. From what I've seen, you know, and I don't remember if I'd ever been there, but I may have been there at one point in time, but I don't recall.
You know what surprised me about what you said?
What's that?
Aren't all those states linked together? Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee.
I think dude, you asked the wrong person when it comes to geography, but probably if they're all kind of clumped together on the map, probably.
Do you have that up still?
No, I want something else now.
Oh, okay.
United States.
I forgot 2 of them. You said Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee. I can't remember. Alabama.
Yeah. Alabama, Worley. Let's see. Well, come on.
Arkansas?
Just open up the fucking thing. Don't make me do. Maybe, yeah. Okay, so Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee. Where the fuck is Mississippi in here? Is
Iowa
Mississippi
can't be
just
one
MS?
of the poorest states.
Yeah, there it is. Tennessee. It was.
One of the poorest?
Or maybe it was something. No, okay, so Tennessee, I think maybe that was one of the top 10 places to live.
Yeah.
Most cost-effective places to live was Iowa. So Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri. Yeah, that little chunk. So they are all together.
Yeah, all those states are connected.
They're connected.
That's crazy.
With with lines. So we're just taken to a whole nother realm now. Top 10 places to retire in the world.
All right,
The entire world.
I'm down with that.
Number 1 is Costa Rica. Didn't you have a friend that was Costa Rica? Told you that years ago? Or was that a different place?
I heard it on a podcast.
No, but you had a friend that said, "Hey, if you have
Mexico.
whatever money, you can retire here and live like a king." Mexico, okay.
Yeah.
So Costa Rica's number 1, Portugal's number 2, Mexico's number 3. Then you got Panama, Spain, Ecuador, Greece, Malaysia, France, and Colombia. Colombia is number 10. Colombia, political refugee from Colombia. And the way they break these down, these have these categories. So they have housing costs, cost of living, visa benefits, affinity rating, climate development, and healthcare. So I automatically look at the housing because that to me housing, right? So Costa Rica has a 66 rated housing, Portugal 64, Mexico 74, Panama 72, Spain. You can tell if it's a 6 or an 8, but we'll call it 68. Ecuador 72. So they're all like relatively mid 60s to 70s as far as the cost of living thing. But it's a pretty cool article of this.
I don't know
thing.
if you can still do it
on our page,
but you used to be able to spend like $100,000. And I think the thing, and that might still be true, they probably have upped the price, but I think the reason that Costa Rica is number 1 is because you can actually buy citizenship from the government. You put up $300,000, $100,000, whatever it is, and then you're a Costa Rican citizen, and then I think you're free from U.S. taxes and all that bullshit. That's where that John McAfee was hiding out. They accused him of killing his business partner or whatever. He was hiding out in Costa Rica forever. I don't even know what happened with that story. Do you remember that? The dude that started McAfee Antivirus?
I do, but I don't remember. Yes, he was. It was. I watched that. That was a crazy.
He's fucking crazy dude.
He got off somehow. But brilliant. Crazy brilliant. I just put that up on our Facebook page. The top 10 places to retire.
Nice.
But yeah, he was a whack-a-mole man for sure.
I know he was accused of killing his business partner, and then he fled to Costa Rica, and then he had some teenage fucking girl he married and doing cocaine and making fucking bath salts in the jungle. Had this killer pad down there. He's a billionaire.
Right?
He's just like living like he's 18 years old, He was like a 60-year-old man.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. If somebody put a lot of zeros at the end of your bank account, what would you do? I don't know if any of us know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably do what I do now, but just work out more and have better things around the house, like build a structure over the garden so we could garden year round, have a badass greenhouse,
I'd turn this entire house into a studio.
Brand new vehicles. Oh yeah. Get a plane. Take pilot license. Learn how to fly, and then I could just fly over there, record music, and fly back.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Put everything in trust. Buy a bunch of land everywhere. Land is the way to go.
If I had that much money, we wouldn't be flying anywhere because I'd just live wherever. I'd move down the road.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'd offer your goofy ass fucking neighbor enough money to leave.
Right? Yeah. That fucking guy.
Just keep adding zeros.
It surprises me. Malaysia isn't Malaysia. Yeah, isn't Malaysia an Asian? I don't want to say it's Asian country. What are Malaysians?
They're Asians.
Are they Chinese? Oh, here it is. They're Chinese. Okay, they're Asians. Yeah.
South Pacific.
Oh, yeah, because nearby destinations are Thailand, Indonesia, Cambodia. Yeah. Okay.
It's supposed to be a beautiful place.
So okay,
Like,
gotcha.
very accepting of Americans,
Really?
from what I understand. Yeah. They have some
Well,
pretty
that's
strict
cool.
rules that you got to learn, I guess. Like, you're not supposed to be swearing in public and
Oh,
shit. Like, I think that's that. Oh, no, Indonesia. Indonesia, you
oh,
can't swear. They'll throw you in jail
oh,
for that.
really?
Yeah, they're
That's cool. It's different.
not for you and I, it isn't.
No, no, we get used to it. My
I just
biggest
don't.
thing about some of these places is what's the humidity like? Like, like, like. They're talking about Panama. I'm scanning the Panama one, and it's 86 during the day and 77 at night, but it's humid.
Very humid.
So how humid is it, right?
Probably pretty humid there. That's going to be more like rainforest kind of. Not quite as bad as that, but it's going to be getting close because you're
Yeah.
getting close to the equator. The sun's more intense. You know how intense the sun is in Arizona versus how
Right.
intense the sun is here in Illinois.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
Now it's more intense because you're that much further south. It's probably bad.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you're on an island, you've been to the beach. 80 degrees or 90 degrees at the beach is not like 90 degrees inland, with the wind blowing in off the water.
Correct.
Doesn't feel that bad.
Correct.
Even if you're not in the water, it doesn't feel that bad. Now you go 5 miles in, it's like, holy shit, it's hotter than fuck. It's the same temperature,
right? Yeah.
So I would choose more of an island life if I really had my druthers.
Yeah.
There's a place off the coast of Africa called the Seychelles Islands. It's never had any kind of natural disaster of any kind. No typhoons, no hurricanes, no nothing.
Really?
No, because it's far enough away from Africa that they don't fuck with it. But it's close enough to the continent that it's protected by the continent from any kind of storms that go through. It rains and shit. They just don't have like typhoons or whatever they have on that. I think typhoons are on that side of the world. They've never had anything like that. It's like 80 to 85 degrees every day. That's all the temperature ever varies. About 6 or 7 degrees, maybe like 78 to 90. I looked it up. Art Bell talked about it years ago, and I was always fascinated with geography, so...
Art Bell,
radio guy.
Art Bell, the football player?
No, the overnight radio guy.
Oh, radio guy.
He hosted Coast to Coast AM.
Oh.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, there was an NFL guy named Art Bell too, right?
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking Art Shell. I maybe was thinking Art Shell. Raiders.
Oh. Yeah. Raiders is Art Shell.
Yeah. 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 Interesting. So what else is going on?
I don't know.
Michael?
I don't know.
Michael Michaels? Okay.
Got froze up for a second. There we go.
Did you freeze? How you freezing, man?
No, I'm back. I'm back. Just for a second I did.
Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world, Mike Michaels. I had a buddy that had me set up a search form for a neighborhood next to his, and it's mind-boggling what these things are going for now. You remember the community called Agritopia in Gilbert?
Vaguely. Yeah.
Yeah, they're 1.5 million. Just fucking insane. Houses now.
How much is the one you sold me worth? We paid
Just-
$129,900 in 2000.
Oh, I'm
2001.
going to say top of my head probably 400,000 minimum. Yeah, 400, 450 minimum. Easily.
Yeah, so
easily without even looking at it, just knowing the market.
23 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, I paid $129,000 for that house. Now you can't touch it for less than $400,000.
Right?
How do people fucking live, man?
Nope. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling.
What do all these people do for a living that you're selling these houses
trying to get approved?
Everything?
Well, the one I just closed today, he's an ER doctor, emergency medicine specialist.
Well, that makes sense.
And I learned from him that he works in Tempe St. Luke's Hospital, right? He only is contracted for 8 days a month. Okay, it's the minimum, and check this out. It's the minimum that he could take a contract for. So then he works at other hospitals as overtime or as on call. Okay, and because he's on call in those other hospitals, he can make in a 12-hour shift what he makes in 3 shifts at Tempe St. Luke's.
Holy smokes!
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy what he makes.
But what I'm
exactly
saying,
what he makes, but
is a job like mine. Like let's say you work in a factory out there. It does not pay what it pays here. So how did those people?
Okay.
But then I saw the prices of apartments, and I'm thinking, I just don't understand how a person working a blue collar job. Like, let's say you're out there working for the man. You work for Fry's grocery store. Can you make enough money to afford to buy a house? I don't think so, unless you're the fucking manager.
It depends. Like I sold a house a couple years ago to a guy who works in Bashas' in the bakery department, and now he's since elevated to something else. So I think it just depends on when you bought that house and where you're at now in regards to it. And the same guy that asked me to look up Agritopia, I sold him his house for $434,000. Okay, $434,000.
I'm talking about somebody that's just getting
2
started.
houses that are active for sale in his. Oh, I know. Well, he wasn't so much getting started, but he was on fixed income stuff. You're going in the outskirts. Like the first timers I've worked with as of late, I've had to go to the outskirts, meaning Casa Grande, Florence.
Holy shit.
Coolidge, those types of areas, because you just
that used to be another universe.
There was no but there's just no other way. Like I have a house coming up that's for I sold to her 4 years ago for $199, and we have it listed for $315, and it's a 2-bedroom 2-bath 1,100 square feet in Copper Basin, which is the last subdivision in Santan Valley before you head to Florence.
So give people that are not familiar with Arizona how far that is away from Phoenix.
Okay. 45 minutes, 45-minute drive, because everything we do is a 45-minute drive. I don't name it. I don't know distance and miles and stuff. I just look at everything as time to drive, because I can get across the valley. I can get 51 miles in an hour. So from my house to Glendale, it's an hour, depending on traffic and stuff. And I sell houses in Glendale all the time. So it's that kind of thing. It's more travel time than looking at miles and saying, oh, it's this many miles away,
Which makes sense, because that's what people want to know if they got to go to work, Yeah, absolutely. That would be the information they would want too.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Only a freak like me goes, it's 167 miles, and you can make it in X amount of time. Unless there's traffic, then we're screwed.
Right. Yeah. And the cool thing now is we have the 202, which is more prevalent of a freeway system now than when you were here. The 101's still there, but the 202 takes so much chaos off of the 60, so you really can get around town. There's a couple spots. Remember the Broadway curve?
Oh yeah.
When you under the tunnel and shit, that's always fucking jacked up. Unless you're there about 12 o'clock every day when I go to my office hours, I try to, when I have the 12 to 6 range, I try to get out of here by 11, so I don't get caught up in any of that nonsense. If I just have afternoon hours, I'm always fucked there. It's always a 10-minute standstill, which isn't bad considering like California, you can be standing still for an hour, in crazy gridlock. We don't have crazy gridlock in Arizona anymore, which is nice. But like when we used to jam at Kevin's house where I live now, it would take me probably 45 minutes without traffic to get over there. To where Scott lived, it'd probably take me 20 minutes where I live now.
That's not bad.
So not bad. No.
Arizona
if Nick and I went to a baseball game, yeah, a lot of freeways, a lot of traffic.
It's
baseball
laid
game
out
where Sun's playing the Diamondbacks
a lot
half
better.
An hour, Yeah, we're a grid system. It's
you
straight
just,
up.
You drove around system. Here. It's north, a fucking south, nightmare west. When you get up towards the city. There was no forethought that there would ever be. I don't know what the population of Chicago is now. It's got to be what, 4.5 million. You got Google open there. What's the population of the city of Chicago? And then you got to, I guess, account for the surrounding areas because they're driving on the roads too. They did not account for all those people living there, and it's just been a constant construction project since the 1960s.
Chicago. 2.6 million as of 2022. 2.665 million.
That's just Chicago, though. So then take into account all the suburbs. No, just like the Chicago metro area. Type that in. Chicago metro area. I'm going to guess it's 4.5 million.
Fuck me, dude. 9.4 million as of 2018.
Oh, I'm way off. Holy shit, there's twice as many. More than twice as many people as my guess.
Wow, dude. Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry, then it went down. Now it's down. In 2023, so 2021 is 8.8 million went up, and then it's continuously gone up from 8.8 to 8.9. Now it's 8.93. So it's gone up 8.93 million.
And all those people are driving on those roads that were designed in the 1950s during the Eisenhower administration when they implemented the interstate system, right?
Yep.
And the shipyards were up there, so all these people flooded to Chicago, and it grew at a rate that the roads just couldn't keep up with. So they just kept putting roads everywhere. They don't have exits every mile, so you could, if you miss your exit in Illinois, I've done it probably 25 times, you end up in Wisconsin, you got to turn around and come back. It's not like it's that far.
Really?
It's, very frustrating, and you're out of your way, but yeah, they've improved that a little bit. That's back in the early 90s when I was going to college. They didn't have quite as many different, offshoots of the freeway like you guys got out there now. Chicago has a bunch of little tiny 101s and 303s, things like that. They don't call them that, but one of the ones that I take to Michigan is one of that. It's just kind of like a shortcut from one interstate to another. They've designed a lot of those.
Right on.
Yeah. Costs you $1.10 each way. It's super convenient.
$1.10. That's outstanding.
Yeah, it is outstanding. I said the same thing. $2.20 to get into Michigan and back. Thank you. Don't have to even see Chicago.
Thank you, bro. Right. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. What's the Phoenix metro area currently?
Oh, I did this before. I got my leg was falling asleep. Hold on. Phoenix metro.
Just out of curiosity.
Phoenix metro population. 4.7 million.
That's crazy.
We've gone in 2020 we were 4.5 so from 4.5 million to 4.7 million in
Okay.
4 years.
Type this in. Phoenix Metro, 1993. That's the year I moved there.
Fuck, 2.2 million. It's doubled.
It was half the size when I moved there, ladies and gentlemen. So for those of you who are living there now,
doubled.
I'm not sure. It seemed to be better times. I don't know. Probably just
Well, it
because I
wasn't
was
as
there.
populated then, you know?
Yeah, you can get around
probably.
easier.
Probably. Everybody was coming. Mike's here. Yep. Mike's here.
Then I left.
Mike's. Ow, my fucking leg of sleep. Wake up, leg.
That's crazy. That's doubled in size, and that.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. Yep.
30 years.
It's now it says, oh, here's a question. In 1940, it had just over 65,000 residents. It became America's 5th largest city by 2020. That's crazy. Part of it's the airport. Yeah, Phoenix International Airport, you know.
What is that? What'd you say, 1940?
Yeah, 1940, we had 65,000 people.
So in 80 years, it went from 65,000 to
household. Yeah.
The 5th largest city.
Yep. Insanity.
That's crazy.
Uh-huh. And they said 65,000. Oh, no, it's 65,000 residents. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was household. It was residents. It looks like it's a growth rate of just under 4% per year. Just can steadily climbing.
Well, here's a good one for people to do. Google Dubai in like 1965 and then Google Dubai in 2024. That's fascinating, dude. They moved in hundreds of millions of tons of sand and just fucking built the shit out of that place with all those trillions of dollars of oil money.
Right.
It's fascinating, man.
1963, they had, they had 39,000 people in 1963.
39,000.
In 1965, they had 43,000 in 1965. 45,000 in 1965. Today, 3.7 million.
That's nuts. And they had to build it all. There was no foundation.
What's even crazier. Check this out. 1.52 million of those residents are under the age of 14.
Holy crap.
1.26 million of those are between the ages of 15 and 24. Between 25 and 54, you have 64% of the population.
Is this the sex trafficking capital of the world?
Population of Dubai. Is it really?
I don't know. It's starting to sound like it.
Okay, right, and then 55 and up equates for 8% of the population. So 64% of the population is between 25 and 54, and the rest of it is below 25 and above 65 or above 55. That's crazy.
I would be real nervous being above 55, being 8%.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they off their
69% of Dubai is male. 31% is female. Figure that out.
That's a bad ratio.
That's a 2-to-1 ratio. Right. It's a terrible ratio.
Yeah. Me and Omar are going to have to go at it.
Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, fisticuffs, not. I'm taking his woman.
Yeah.
That's a horrible ratio. 2-to-1.
It is 2-to-1 for the yeah. That is terrible.
What's China? 3-to-1?
Oh, probably
5-to-1. They're bad.
Yeah, China. Oh, come on. 1.4 billion is China. Let's see if it breaks it down. Fuck, 1.4 billion. In 2022, that doesn't even count the last couple of years. Demographics.
That's a lot of people, man.
Their growth rate is going down. They have 6.39 births per thousand and 7.87 deaths per thousand. So that's good. 0 to 14 years old is 16, we'll just call it 17%. 124 million females versus 108 million. 124 million males versus 108 million females. 0 to 14. 15 to 64, you have 504 million females, 407. I'm reading it backwards. 505 million males versus 476 million females. So 70% of their population is between 15 and 64. And it's a 2-to-1 rate. Man, it's 505 million versus 476. So it's 1.1 male to female.
Yeah, it's not quite
basically.
2-to-1. So actually it's worse than Dubai.
Yeah, so
that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I think it's even okay. But look up Saudi Arabia. I think Saudi Arabia is actually the worst.
Okay.
I recently just heard that, or I dreamed it up. So we'll rectify that right now. I think it's like 5-to-1 or something.
Demographics of Saudi Arabia. Where is it?
That's why they all want to come over here.
Because it's not. Sex ratios. There we go. So 15-24, it's 1.09 male to female ratio. 25 to 54 is 1.52 male to female ratio. 55 to 64 is 1.61 males to female ratio.
Oh, see, I dreamed it up.
And half of their population is between the ages 25 and 54. What's going to be interesting, because what we just looked at, these last three, the 0, 14, 15, 24 were small percentages, right?
Yes.
And all three countries I just dabbled on.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see how the population drops when all these people start dying.
Yeah, so then what does that do to the dynamic of their population?
Yeah. Right.
Right?
Exactly, because the 55 to 64s and up were very small percentages, but as time goes on, those percentages are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, whereas the other ones are going to, like right in Saudi Arabia, 15% of the population is between 15 and 24 years old. So when that 50% of the 25 to 54 moves up to 55 plus, that 15% goes into the 25 to 55 plus, and that's dramatic. It's a dramatic drop. Like huge, significant drop. You're talking 50 to 15%. Then you have the 0 to 14 coming up behind you, but still, that's only 35%. Right, and that's only 35% population is going to eventually grow into the middle range of life, which that's a trip, man.
Do they have those demographics for North Korea?
Let's see.
Because what I'm thinking is,
if they would or not, because of the.
Do those people eventually get away from that? You know what's the saying? Break the cycle.
Right.
Like, do the Chinese, do the North Koreans, do they eventually find a spot in history, if we live long enough, where they can break that cycle of living under a communist or a dictator, or,
right,
where they get to make their own decision? Because I think the scenario you presented is the only way that can happen.
That's weird. I just walked my door. So here's North Korea. By far the biggest chunk between 15 and 64-year-olds is 68.9%. 0 to 14 is 23% of the population. 65 and older is 8.7%. So you have a massive amount of people between 15 and 64.
Wow.
And it's basically a 1-to-1 ratio. Total male births are 0.95, female births are 1. So it's basically a 1-to-1 ratio. And their population has grown steadily since the 40s by 2%. Like in 1940, they were 8.5 million, and now they're 24 million, and it's just consistently grown. Now they've slowed down a bit, but they're still growing. Yeah, male to female ratio. The male to female ratio from 80 to 87 was 86.2 to 100. So 86 males to every 100 females.
So for those of you that are listening that are interested, I've always been fascinated with places that people don't know anything about. I'll have to post it on Facebook because I can't remember her name. Joe Rogan interviewed her, and it's like a 3, maybe a 4-hour interview, but I was captivated. It's one of the only ones I ever listened to from beginning to end. And it's super emotional.
Oh, right on.
But this poor girl went through hell getting out of that place, and she explains exactly what living there is like, and it's rough, man. I mean, it's worse than you could ever imagine, and it was hard to listen to. But it's totally worth checking out.
Hey, mailman just came to our door. Yeah. Okay.
I think her last name was Park.
Check it out. All right.
Which is pretty easy to remember. Park. I'll never remember her first name.
All right. The Queen's calling me. I have to end. I have to wrap up our day, my friend.
Are you being summoned?
I'm being summoned. I'm gonna wrap up the day. She's gonna come say hi. Come say hi, Nikki.
Hello.
Hello.
For those of you that can't see, that's the hot ass Nikki in the background.
You're almost done?
Yeah, I'm almost done. All right. So, boys and girls, this was episode 35, right?
36.
Yeah.
36.
36. Damn it.
It's all right.
36. All right. Cool. Jake should be home in the next couple weeks or so we'll get him dialed in and get him on the show.
Everything I needed today to do my part to get your stuff to you, to have all of us together. Cool. So the next time Jake blesses us with his presence, we will have everybody on the same podcast.
Right on.
All right, brother.
Cool. All right, boys and girls. Remember, you're not alone. Tomorrow's always a better day than today. Right?
Amen. You do a better job at that, so I just let you go.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah. No, it's always a better day. Tomorrow's always a better day. Like Nikki says, stop stressing out over shit. Just be. Just let it go, man. It's not that important.
Agreed.
Just let it go. Let it go.
Keep some bubble wrap around.
All right, my friend, you have a banner day?
You too, man.
You got to keep the bubble wrap around, man.
I've bought a lot of equipment here lately, so I have a lot of bubble wrap. You have a banner day too, brother.
That's awesome. Just you too well, my friend. Talk to you soon. Love you.
All right. Love you too, man. Peace.
Peace.